For growing your money, what financial strategy and why? After watching this video, you will know exactly for growing your money, what financial strategy and why I'm sharing it with you. Hi, my name is Rip, and hopefully you're getting some value from my videos. If so, before getting into the video, make sure that you subscribe. It sure would help me out. And hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos. Hopefully that would help you out. Well, in the first part of this two-part series, I shared with you for debt, what financial strategy and why. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Once you're in control of your cash flow, you can then start focusing on growing your money. It's a horse in front of the cart kind of thing. You can't start growing your money before you know exactly how much money you have to work with. Eileen and I were no longer in the dark about where we were in our financial journey. We also knew exactly, step by step, payment by payment, how to attack our debt in the most efficient and fastest mathematical way possible. I don't think I've ever been as proud at solving a problem as I was at solving our debt one. It's one of those things that you say, if I only knew about this when I was younger. As most of you are starting to get to know me, you're probably becoming aware of the fact that I am a pretty transparent guy. I probably say more than I should at times, but honesty and integrity are extremely important characteristics that I strive for. So I want to own the fact that after we purchased and started using this program, after I learned exactly how this program works, I started asking everyone that I knew if they had ever heard of anything like it. The amount of interest that I generated had Stacy recommend that I join her as an agent, and I did. I truly believe that any financial situation, family, business, government agencies, anything with budgets, they all need to have this program to most efficiently guide them. About a year after we had been using this program, the same people that helped Eileen and I get in control of our debt reached out to me. They were wanting to expand their financial guidance and education from just debt focused to also include wealth building. I won't ever forget that phone call. It started out with a question. Do you think that as we help people get out of debt, they might just create more debt again? Duh is what I wanted to say, but a respectful yes, of course, came out. Then I was asked some very profound questions. Do you think that your house is your biggest investment? I did. Does a large down payment save you more money on your mortgage than a small one? Of course it does. Does a 15-year mortgage save you more money than a 30-year mortgage? I thought for a moment, and then answered yes, but was starting to sense that something was up. Should you put every extra dollar that you can into paying off your house as fast as possible? Now I was going into even deeper thought, because Eileen and I had just been through this almost exact same question and situation with all of our medical bills. We had discussions about how her aggressive payment game plan left us broke, meaning not being able to pay all of our bills every month. We questioned if that was better or worse than my minimal payment game plan, that while it allowed us to pay all of our bills, would take painstakingly so much longer to pay off all our medical bills. So whether it was paying off all of our medical bills as fast as possible, or paying off our house as fast as possible, or paying off our vehicle as fast as possible, or paying off anything as fast as possible, I was now back at the confusing juncture of where I did not know what the correct way to pay off debt was. My head was spinning. Should we be paying every extra dollar that we could into paying our house off as fast as possible? I was starting to feel that I was missing something. I could hear my dad prompting me to say yes. Pay it off as fast as you can, Richard. While I was quiet, deep in thought, another question was asked. Are you more secure having your house 100% paid for or 100% financed? 100% paid for was my knee-jerk quick answer. I knew that this was programmed into me from my dad, the rest of the world, and from what everyone says to do. Whoever and whatever that everyone says is. One last question. Do you consider yourself an open-minded person? I definitely believe that I am, and I answered yes. Well, I think that you're going to absolutely love the information that we want to share with you. And spoiler alert, none of the questions or statements were true. I knew that I sensed something was up with the questions. I was all in. Definitely wanted to hear what their answers to these questions were and their reasoning. So our focus is really on what to do with our discretionary income, the money that we have after we pay all of our bills. We also need to be aware that while we are calculating our discretionary income, we are not paying even a penny more to any of our bills. I want to bring you back to a time when, hopefully, your peers bought you a piggy bank. Mine was a metal, shiny silver one that split in half. It had a little flathead screw holding it together. My dad was a pay cash guy, and I remember both of my parents teaching me to save as much of my money that I could in my piggy bank. I learned that lesson well and was a great saver. And Eileen would even say that I'm still a great saver. I remember saving so much that my piggy bank became too small. Ironically, I had the same problem way back then as I had just years ago. I didn't know what to do with my money. I had never been taught what to do with and how to leverage the money that I saved. I quoted Pablo Picasso by saying that the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. I believe that my gift is being able to understand finances, especially after I was shown the truth back in 2008. I felt so grateful and empowered after finally finding the missing pieces to my financial questions. Nelson unselfishly presented his financial strategies during a free 4-day seminar in Salt Lake City. After everything clicked for me, I asked him how I'd ever be able to repay him. He said, just promise to pay all this information forward. Help people take control back from the banks. This is a strategy that I want to share with you for growing your money. Nelson calls it infinite banking. Around here, I have heard many older successful farms and families call it family banking. Online, there's been a frenzy of many other newly created names for it. It is based on the only financial product that uses leverage. It is life insurance. But we have a very specific companies and very specific guidelines for these very special policies that we create. We simply start overfunding a cash value, dividend-paying whole life insurance policy, which, in case you've never heard of this, it is the best financial product that's ever been created. Life insurance works on the principle of leverage. Simplest example of leverage would be that if you gave me $1 for life insurance and you died, the life insurance company would pay your family $1,000 for every dollar you gave back. Now, I get that bringing up life insurance and dying while I'm talking about learning how to grow and leverage your money might seem disconnected, but trust me, it's a mind-blowing strategy that is hundreds of years old and based on some good old common sense. The financial strategy for growing your money is called infinite banking. It is controlling the banking function. Controlling the banking function keeps you in charge of your money. It always allows you to keep access to and use of your money. It does not expose any of your money to any risk, nor does it expose your money to taxation. And one of the biggest reasons for me, that money is guaranteed to grow. Let me leave you with a weird word of caution. The problem with the solution is that it is actually too simple. Because it is too simple, sophisticated people tend to overanalyze it and miss the point. Please try not to overanalyze it. As Nelson the pilot would say, let's keep it up at the 10,000-foot view. Check out my What is Infinite Banking video next. Hope this helps. Thanks for stopping by.